I have nothing much to say. This 12 days trip is, yeah, I certainly experienced tremendous energy, and I can say I've taken one or two steps towards my growth, and certainly it does help me to be a little more mature person, and I consider myself very lucky to. I only hope that I carry and be of some useful to everyone.
Just like 3 days, 2 days before I had to go to school, I'd be like, Amma, I need to do homework. Last 3 days, I'd be writing with my right hand, she'd be writing something else with her left hand just to make it seem like it was my work.
This was in Mangalore, and she had come from Mysore with a few volunteers from Mysore. So in the morning when we went for the games, there were a few new people, and there was this one person who was everywhere, who was doing all these long frisbee throws with Sadhguru, who was in the ball game everywhere, who was pointedly bent upon getting Sadhguru out. Until then, nobody knew who she was. At the end of the program, Sadhguru introduced her to all of us as a Isha yoga teacher.
And that's the time she was working in a bank. She was so aligned to Sadhguru and always being around him. I remember how she shared about her marriage. When I asked Vijji, how did it all happen? She said that when she met Sadhguru, in that very first meet, we knew each other. That's it, and that's marriage for me.
It was a very simple wedding in a small Shiva temple in Irpur Falls.
At that time, Sadhguru was, he was developing a farm. And everything that happened in the farm, she would know, she would be there whenever she could. He would spend half the month in his farm, another half the month he would teach a class, either in Hyderabad or in Mangalore or Coimbatore or Tirupur or one of these towns. Every weekend, Vijji would travel to the initiation from Mysore. Every time that she saw Sadhguru off, it's not that she will say bye and she'll go back to whatever she was doing. She has to see him get onto the vehicle, she has to see him start, she has to wave, and she has to keep waving until he's out of sight. Even after 10-12 years after marriage, every day, almost every day, this situation is happening. She was very deeply devoted to Sadhguru as a person. She also constantly maintained an overt posture that she had nothing to do with spirituality. She was only interested in Sadhguru, the person, who happened to be her husband, and that was her only interest. But one can't exist around Sadhguru unless in one way or the other one is deeply committed to one's own spiritual growth. Even though she said that she's not on the spiritual path, it's not for her and all that, I think constantly, right from the beginning, she couldn't help but to make progress on this path. Few moments and few incidents that I saw in Sadhguru, in my own life, these moments have had such deep impact. This must have happened with Vijji continuously in so many ways, which obviously had big impact. She would go to any extent to kind of stand up for something. Anything that was happening, she was there. Not because Sadhguru was there and she had to be there as a wife and things like that. No, she felt it because she was also equally wanting that good things happen with people and people benefit from Sadhguru and make use of it.
Like, she's very soft in her heart. Like, if somebody has to say something, she has no hesitation even to take a bangle and give it to them and to solve the problem. Very, very relatable and affectionate woman I've ever come across.
At times, Sadhguru has made this clear to Vijji in many ways that he never really, kind of uses this word or talks about it openly. But to her, he had communicated to her that his disciples, their well-being, and what needs to happen to them. It was far more important than what his commitments were to her. When whoever knew Sadhguru or Vijji, they always knew them as Jaggi and Vijji. They were always together everywhere in everything that they did.
For Vijji, who is my wife, but most of the time she more existed as my child than my wife because she was like that. But still we had a very engaging and engrossed kind of relationship all the time. She was like my shadow all the time, 12 years, she just was everywhere that I was. She organizes the yoga program, she goes around, works throughout the day, she does everything.